Hi and welcome. In this video, we will discuss the types of backups available in SQL Server. We have full backup, differential, transaction log, tail log, file and file group, partial backup, split backup, copy only, mirror and compression backup. I am going to give you an overview of all these types, and in coming videos, I will discuss each one in detail along with a demo. Okay. There are four different ways to take a backup of a database in SQL Server, and they are: we can take using tsql commands or using SSMS, which is a graphical user interface, and we can create a maintenance plan or create a job to take the backup, and we can also use a third-party backup tool to take the database backup. Okay, so why do we need a backup? In case of any disaster, backups will help you as a recovery option for your database, or you can also use backups to replicate your existing database in a new server. Okay, so we'll first see the full backup. Full backup is a complete copy of your database. It contains all the objects like tables, procedures, functions, views, indexes, etc. It is like a foundation for any kind of backup. I'll tell you what this exactly means. So here I have a few databases. Let me take example of the student database, and the student database has never been backed up. You can see here the last database backup is none. Okay, that means I have never taken a backup of this student database, a full backup I mean. Okay, now what I am trying to do, let me take a differential backup. Without full backup, I am just executing a differential backup script. Let's see what happens. You can see it throws an error. We cannot perform a differential backup for database because current database backup does not exist. It clearly tells you perform a full backup by reissuing backup database command by emitting differential. That means before you take a differential backup or log backup, you need to take a full backup of a database. Even when you recover a database, you need to first recover the or restore the full backup of your database. This allows for the simplest form of database restoration, since all the contents are contained in one single backup file. The syntax is backup database name to disk. Give the path of the disk, and extension is BAK. We can also take the backup using SSMS. This full backup is very useful when you want to copy a full backup of your database to another server. That is, when you migrate your existing database to another server, then this full backup is very useful. Okay, next one, differential backup. It contains all changes that have been made since the last full backup. I'll show you with a simple example. So let us consider we have taken a database full backup at 6 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so this full backup contains the data from start point to till this point. Okay, from start point to this 6 a.m. is your full backup. Now what I did at 9 a.m. in the morning, I have taken a differential backup. So this differential one, which is taken at 9 a.m. contains data from last full backup till 9 a.m. It means this backup will contain data from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. It contains only 3 hours of data. 3 hours of data in the sense modifications done after the last full backup. Okay, and if I take a differential backup again at 11 a.m. so this differential 2 contains data modified from the last full backup. It means you will have data from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. in this single differential 2 backup file, and differential 1 backup file data will be included in the differential 2 backup file. So when you restore a database, you will just restore the latest full backup which is taken at 6 a.m. and the last differential backup which is taken at 11 a.m. Okay, so generally if the database size is large, we cannot take the full backup regularly. We'll prefer the differential backup so that to save the space and time for the backup operation. And the syntax is backup database name to disk, and will use with differential to take the differential backup. Next, we'll see transaction log backup or T-log backup. It backs up the transaction logs of database. It stores a series of logs that provide history of every modification of data in a database. And this backup type is possible only when we use a full or bulk log recovery models. This is not supported in simple recovery model because the transactions get truncated after it is committed in the simple recovery model. When we have a transaction log backups, we can achieve point-in-time recovery for the database in case of any disaster. And the syntax for it is backup log database name to disk. Give the path, and at the end we'll give the extension as .trn, which is a transaction log file. Let me show you the simple example. So here we have seen the full backup and differential backup. Let us assume we have a transaction log backup for every 15 minutes, or we can also take for every half an hour. So in this scenario, I'll take transaction log backups for every half an hour. So 6 to 6:30 there is one transaction log backup, 6:30 to 7, and so on till 9 o'clock. So we'll have total 6 transaction log backups in these 3 hours because we'll take for every half an hour. And from 9 to 11 we'll have 4 transaction log backups. And at 11:30 we'll take one more transaction log backup. Okay. And let us think at 11:35 your database is corrupted. Okay. And how do we restore? We'll first restore the last full backup and then restore the latest differential backup which is taken after the last full backup, and then from there you have to restore the available transaction log backups, which is my 11:31. At 11:30 we have one T-log backup, right? And we'll restore that 11:30 T-log backup, and our data is safe till 11:30 AM. Okay. Now you may ask a question. From 11:30 to 11:35 we don't have any backups. How do I get a data back? For that we have tail log backup. What it will do is it will take the transactions that are present in the log file from this time gap, which is 11:30 to 11:35. Those are your active transactions. It captures any log records that have not yet been backed up to prevent our data loss. Generally, when your database is damaged or inaccessible, or if your log file is undamaged, it means your log file should exist in order to take the tail log backup. We can capture the tail log backup even if the database is offline. It will be our last backup of which one can take to recover the database. In case if you are unable to take the tail log backup, then you may have a data loss of that 5 minutes, which we have discussed in our example. And the syntax is we just give the no truncate statement for the transaction log backup. No truncate is not recommended, so we use no recovery and continue after error. We can discuss these in detail in the coming videos where I'll show you with the demo. For now, we'll move to the next backup, which is a file backup. This allows to backup each file independently instead of having to backup entire database. Suppose you don't want to backup your entire database, we can take a backup of your individual data file. I'll show you in SSMS. In this demo database, I have a different file groups and files in each file group. So in file groups, I have total 3 file groups. One is primary, secondary 1, and secondary 2. And in each file group, I have almost 2 files. Let me show you. So when I go to files, you can see here I have 2 files in secondary 1 file group and 1 file in secondary 2 and 1 file in primary file group. So when I take a full database backup, I get the backup of all these files and file groups. But my requirement is to take backup of only one file, which is session 2, that belongs to file group secondary 2, and I don't need a backup of other files. So how do I do that? This is my secondary file group, secondary data file. You can see here extension which is NDF. I want to backup only this secondary data file, NDF file. Okay, we'll see the syntax. backup database name, mention the file name, to disk, give the path, and at the end extension is FIL. Here my file name is sessions2. Next backup type is file group backup. We have seen how to take a file backup or what is a file backup. Now my requirement is not to take an individual file backup. I want to take entire file group backup. So in this demo database, go to file groups, and you can see I have total 3 file groups, 1 primary, 2 secondaries. Now I want to take a backup of this secondary 1 file group excluding primary and secondary 2. So what happens when you take a full backup or differential backup? You will get the all file groups, but I need only secondary 1 file group, and this secondary 1 file group contains only 2 files. Let me show you here. So in secondary 1 file group, I have session 1 and tutorial 1 files. So when I take a backup of this secondary 1 file group, I'll get 2 files, session 1 and tutorial 1, which are 2 secondary database files with NDF as an extension. Okay. So taking these file backups and file group backups take very less time, and we prefer taking these backups when your database size is very large. And the syntax is backup database name, mention the file group name, and to disk, give the path and with extension .flg. And next backup type is partial backup. This was introduced with SQL Server 2005 and available in later versions. It processes the backup of read-write file groups in a database. This is a good option if you have read-only file groups in your database and you don't want to back up the entire database all the time. I'll show you in SSMS. Suppose in this demo database, I have total 3 file groups, right? So in these 3 file groups, one of the file group is kept read-only. You can see here, the secondary 2 file group is kept in read-only mode. So when I take a database backup, I don't want to take the file groups which are kept read-only mode. I want to exclude these file groups, and we have seen the file group secondary 2 contains only one file with name session 2. So this is my file group and it contains only one file. So what happens when I execute a database backup command? It processes the backup of all the file groups along with their files except this file group secondary 2, which contains session 2 file name. This session 2 file name will not be taken in the backup file, or it is not included in the backup file. Okay, so we'll see the syntax. The syntax is backup database, mention the database name and give read write file groups, and then mention the disk path. And partial backup supports all the recovery models, but it is mostly used in simple recovery model in order to improve flexibility when backing up large databases that contain read-only file groups. I'll show you a simple example here. I'm going to take a backup. First, I'll take a backup which is a normal full backup. So when I execute a full backup, you can see all the files of my database are being backed up. You can see demo, session 1, tutorial 1, session 2 and demo_log. These are 5 files, and all these files has been processed for backup. Okay, then you can see what happens. You can see here I have executed a full database backup command, and you can see the files which are taken for the backup. You can see demo, session 1, tutorial 1, session 2, demo_log. Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all these files has been taken as a backup when I executed a full backup statement. Okay, and let us see what happened when I take a partial backup. You can see here session 2, which is a secondary 2 file group which is kept read only, is not processed in the backup file. Here you can see demo session1 tutorial1 and demo_log. Only 4 files got processed, but here session2 got excluded when I use a partial backup with read write file groups. Okay, this is how it functions. Okay, and we'll move to the next backup type, which is a split backup. Whenever you take a backup, suppose your database size is 1 TB or 2 TB, and when you take a backup of that particular database, the backup size will be quite large. So in order to overcome this, you can split your backup file into smaller chunks. You can see the syntax here: backup database name. You are going to take a backup into 3 different disks. Might be your disk 1 is having less space, which cannot handle your database full backup. Then you split your database backup into 3 different disks, like I have taken here for E drive, F drive and G drive. And remember, when you restore this split backup, you need to restore one by one your full backup, split backup 1, 2, 3 in a sequential order. Okay, and next backup type is copy only backup. Whenever you take a copy only backup, it will not disturb the log sequence number of the current transaction. So whenever you take a full backup of the database, LSN number will be reinitialized. So if you take a full backup with copy only option, the log sequence number will not be reinitialized, and it supports full bulk log and simple recovery models. And you cannot take the copy only backup for differential backup type. This is widely used when you don't want to disturb the current transaction log chain of the transactions in your database. The syntax is, we just give copy only at the end of the syntax of full database or differential database backups. Okay, the next backup type is mirror backup. It gives you another copy of the full backup. We can have up to 3 mirror copies, and this feature is available from SQL Server 2005 Enterprise Edition and the later versions. This mirror backup file behaves same like your original backup file, which could be a full backup file or a differential backup. I mean to say, the mirror copies of your database backup file behaves same. Okay, and the last backup type is compression backup. I can say this is not a separate type of backup. Whenever you take a backup file, if you want to decrease the size of your backup file, you can use the compression option for your backup file. Suppose if you have a 500 GB backup file size, when you use a compression, then it will compress the size of your backup file and decreases to around 200 GB or even 100 GB. You'll have this option from SQL Server 2008 version. This mainly saves your storage space, and we'll discuss each backup type in detail in coming videos along with the demo. And the syntax for this compression backup is backup database name, and mention the backup path suffix with compression. Okay, and these are the backup types which are available in SQL Server. Of all these backups, the most commonly used backup types are full backup, differential backup and T-log backup or transaction log backups. These are used regularly in a day-to-day operations, and in general the backup policy most organizations will follow is they'll take weekly full backup, daily differential backup, and every 4 hours or 1 hour or every 30 minutes or even every 15 minutes they take the transaction log backup. This depends upon the user requirement and the organization's policies. The last thing, there are few points you need to remember. Backups created by most recent version of SQL Server cannot be restored in earlier versions of SQL Server. It means if I take a backup in SQL Server 2014, I can install it. We can restore that backup file in 2016 version, but we cannot restore it in 2012. That means you can take a backup in lower version and restore in higher version, but not vice versa. That is, you cannot take the backup from higher version and restore it in the lower version. The second point, you must perform at least one full database backup before you perform a differential or transaction log backup. This we have seen at the beginning, right? And coming to permissions, to take a database backup in SQL Server, you must be a member of database creator server role or DB owner role, or if you have sysadmin permission also, you can take the database backups. Okay, so that's all in this video. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button, do share and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.